Okay, so for our formulas for algebra, we're going to look at distance between 2 points, finding the midpoint between 2 points, and then finding the slope of a line. So go ahead and pause this section here, and I just want you to copy down the formulas. So for distance, we've got the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. For midpoint, we're going to take the average of the x's added together, divided by 2, and then the average of our y's between the 2 points divided by 2. And then for slope, we've got rise over run, so we've got the difference of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're going to look at a few examples. So the first example says, find the distance between 8, -4, and 10, 5. So we're going to label these. Our first point's going to be x1, y1. Second point's going to be x2, y2. And then we're going to use our distance formula here. And we're just going to plug everything in and then simplify from there. So we're going to do x2 is 10 minus x1 is 8. That's squared, plus y2 is 5 minus y1 is -4. That's squared. And then we're going to simplify from there. So 10 minus 8 is 2 squared, plus 5 minus a -4 becomes 5 plus 4. So that's 9 squared. Then we've got 2 times 2 is 4, plus 9 times 9 is 81. And so then we get our distance is the square root of 85. Our next problem says, what is the midpoint of the segment with endpoints -2, 5 and 4, 8. So again, we've got a segment, and those are our 2 endpoints, and we're trying to find the points in the middle. So we're going to, again, label our first point x1, y1. Second point is going to be x2, y2. And then we're going to plug into the midpoint formula. So we're going to take -2 plus 4 divided by 2. And then we're going to take 5 plus 8 divided by 2. And then simplify. So 4 minus 2 is 2. And then 8 plus 5 is 13 over 2. And then, again, we want to write this, it's called midpoint, so we're going to write our answer as a point. So an ordered pair, so we're going to take 2 divided by 2 is 1, and we can leave that as 13 over 2, or you could put 6.5 if you would like. And then our last example is we are given the midpoint, so we have to work backwards to find one of the endpoints. So to work backwards, we have to do the opposite of taking the average. So this is going to be our xn and yn. So this is our midpoint. This is x1 and y1. We're trying to find x2 and y2 because we don't have that other endpoint. So we're going to start with the x. So we're going to write out that we've got xm equals x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and ym equals y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So again, they give us that midpoint, so we're going to set it up this way so we can solve for x2 and y2. So looking at xm, it says that xm, so the midpoint, the value for x is 3. And then x1 is -2 plus x2 divided by 2. So in order to solve that, we're going to multiply by 2 on each side. So we're going to get 6 equals -2 plus x2. And then we're going to add 2 to each side. So we get x2 equals 8. Same concept for the y. We're given that the midpoint for the y coordinate is 10. So we're going to take 10. And we are given that one of the endpoints is 1. So 1 plus y2 divided by 2. Same way to solve, we're going to multiply that 2 out of the denominator. So we get 20 equals 1 plus y2 subtract 1, so we get y2 equals 19. And then again, we want to write our final answer as a point because it's an end point. So we're going to write it as an ordered pair. So we have 8, 19 would be our other end point. And you could always plug this right back into the midpoint formula using x1, y1, x2, and y2 now that we have that, and see if you get the midpoint.